All the ZX10 Masters Cup action is proudly brought to you by SunBet, Red Square, Bridgestone, the tyre of choice for the ZX10 Masters Cup, and Kawasaki motorcycles. It's Festival of Motoring at Kyalami Grand Prix Circuit, and once again it is SunBet ZX10 Masters Cup who are going to be providing action here for round 7 of their championship. The cool conditions in the morning going to make it a little bit more treacherous for these riders to make up their minds and get those tyre temperatures and pressures all right. SunBet are in the house as always, joining our associate sponsors Bridgestone and Red Square for the magnificent assistance that we've got here to run this championship. It's almost 30 riders about to go to battle, and in fact it's going to be an epic one. A couple of concerned faces though with the temperatures in the morning. Ganapathy showing it's a bit nippy. Graham Van Breda has taken the lead of the championship after round 6 here yesterday, so he's certainly looking forward to a challenge. And Jason Lamb wants to get back up into the hunt. There's no doubt about it. He's got lots of fans on the sideline, and they're certainly looking forward to seeing what his performance is going to be like. It's great to have our lady competitors back in it, particularly Landa Sinden, who makes a welcome return.
Gosh, crazy on our side. Needed to still do a lot of improvement, but yeah, it's just enjoying it. We're here to race, just have fun, building up good sessions. So hopefully this first heat for the second races will be good. Yeah, so just want to have fun and just enjoy ourselves.
Ex-GP rider Eskel Suter makes a welcome return, and joining him will be his wife Maudi. Great to have her in the pack as well.
I must say, for me it's the first time really racing, so really doing a start with the whole field. It's quite intimidating to come into the first corner and then the second corner when they cut you off, and yeah, it's a different thing than riding track days, but yeah, it's cool.
Cool conditions, Marty, that's for sure, and it's going to make for interesting decisions on those tyre pressures. Let's get them out onto the Kyalami Grand Prix circuit and see what qualifying is going to bring, and if there's going to be any changes to the top end of this field by the time we finish up qualifying. Jonathan Schwerin trying to get the heat into the rubber before he even leaves pit lane. It's important to get that heat in, that's for sure. Marty Suter will be looking forward to a big fight there, I think, with Lundy. And Lundy Sinnen already into the mix there with the boys, trying to set the pace at the front end. We saw some epic pace yesterday from Trevor Westman. Can he do the same here today? Slightly cooler conditions might not be ideal for that, but more importantly is the championship battle between Jason Lamb and Graham Van Breda. Peter de Vos is coming a bit early. I think he's concerned about something out on the circuit, and explaining that there might be a bit of liquid dropped by some of the cars out on track. That's going to just hinder things slightly here in our qualifying.
No, but that's the dressing, eh? That's a black dressing.
New man to the series, Damien Purificotti, telling us exactly what's going on there as well.
Yeah, so you can actually see it. Sunset is okay. Here, it's not the same on the grip on the rear. You're losing a little bit.
Oil or?
Oil.
So with that, I think the times might have come down slightly. Yes, they have. Westman, Lamb and Purificotti on the front row. Second row is Van Breda, McMahon and Bontekoning. De Vos, Suter and Shelley the third. Ganapathy, Lubabalo and Rob Cragg make up the fourth row. Renatus van Niekerk and Dave Varinga with Mark Newland, new man there. And a small injury for Graham Van Breda.
Seem to have hurt my finger quite badly this morning, and they won't give me any cortisone injections or anything at the track here, so we've pretty much got what we've got. It is my brake finger, so I'm pretty worried about it, but we're hoping for the best for the race. We can maybe strap the two fingers together and see how we go, but yeah, whatever it is, so we'll just try our best.
I think Graham Van Breda has raced with worse injuries in his career. However, it is a braking finger, and it's a vital one here at Kyalami. Let's see what happens by the time they get onto track. You can see them just checking those tyre temperatures and pressures just to make sure that they've got everything sorted out. Guys are ready to go. Fist front from Purificotti. He's looking good to go. Ganapathy, I think, feeling a bit better now that it's warmed up, as the riders are making their way out for race number 1. Join us after the break for all the action from SunBet ZX10 Masters Cup here at the Festival of Motoring. Round 7, race 1 at Kyalami Festival of Motoring for the SunBet ZX10 Masters Cup. See a couple of high fives from the riders making their way to the grid. It's quite interesting the way they run the circuit for this Festival of Motoring, because they pit at the top at the old pits and they start down at the new pits. But the start is what's all important, particularly for Graham Van Breda if he wants to stay at the front end of this championship with that little injury. 5-second board means lights are about to go off, and stand by for another fantastic start. Green lights down towards turn 1, and here they go. SunBet ZX10 Masters Cup making their way down to Crowthorne for the first time. We're on board with the Voss, looking for another phenomenal start. He's coming up on the inside there, looking for a way through. Wow! Who was that squeezing through there? Fantastic stuff coming out of Eskil Suter. He came flying through there, and Damien Purificati as well. Little sit up there for IM63's Sifiso Temba. He tucks in just behind Henk Kruger as they come out of Yuxke. Heading to Barbecue now, coming out of that complex. You can see at the front end, it is a massive, massive start coming out of the front end there. And then look at that, in second place, Trevor Westman, the man who set an absolutely blistering lap time on Friday, is flying high once again. I'm not quite sure if he's at the front just yet, but he's certainly in the mix. Graham Van Bernard, though, isn't. He's down in 4th. So that is a big, big change up there. So Westman fighting with Jason Lamb, who I think got the whole shot. As they tip it into the S's for the first time. Purificati's in there as well, looking to try and pounce, and look out for Eskil Suter and Brian Bontekoning, who also got some fantastic starts off the line. They head up towards Leerkop. On the brakes it is Lamb from Westman. What a start there from them. And Eskil Suter runs a little bit wide. Yeah, big moment there for him. Almost lost the back end there coming out of Leerkop. Suter's going to lose out some ground, and I think Van Bernard might squeeze through, and Bontekoning's going to join him. Bonte just in the background. In fact, it's not Bonte. That was a huge move there from Damien Purificati. Speaking of big moves, around the outside from Westman. Hello. There's Westman coming through there on Jason Lamb, and Trevor Westman hits the front. So the killer leads out over Lamb as they head towards the final corner to complete lap number 1. Graham Van Bernard with Eskil Suter, Damien Purificati on their tail, and then Peter de Vos in the background. Hein McMahon is there too. And another great start out of Wayne Shelley. So expect another little fight there amongst the Grandmasters. Shelley not quite up to pace just yet. The rest of the pack comes streaming through there, and you can see there's little packs that have started to form up even after lap number 1. And they're all going to fight it out in those mid-pack battles. Here comes Lamb. Late on the brakes to try and get on the inside of the leader, Trevor Westman. Around the outside comes Peter de Vos. Watch the cutback to try and get back at Brian Bontekoning, who's one bike ahead of him there. The bike between them is Hein McMahon. So the K9 man having a fantastic run there. And McMahon looking for a chance to still finish up in the top 10 overall. This is a fantastic start here from these riders at the front, but you can see the gaps have opened up here amongst our top 10. Further back in the pack, those gaps are a little bit tighter. ART Racing's Apana Ganapathy watching into Sunset Corner. Oh, and ride it down! Looks like that might have been Lubabala Nsana. Yeah, he's crashed out coming into Sunset Corner. Apana Ganapathy gets gifted one position higher up as he goes into Clubhouse. Trying to close things down there on the back end of Wayne Shelley and Hein McMahon. They're just up the road from him. At the top of the hill into Leerkop goes Westman, Lamb and Van Bernard. Suter with some pressure coming now from Damien Purificati. And then the rest of them lining up there. Bontekoning, de Vos, McMahon. Here comes the third battle. Henk Kruger leading that third battle out. He's got Dave Varinga, and look at that. Oh, JLR's in there too. Fantastic to see that. Johan Leroux in the mix. This is an action replay once again. Look at that. Just loses the front. Front just tucks underneath him. And Lubabala Nsana up that high is not usually where he would be, so maybe a bit of pressure on himself there caused the incident. Maybe trying a little bit too hard on slightly cooler Bridgestone rubber. Remember, we have got cooler conditions here on Sunday, so it's a completely different circuit to what they had on Friday, where it was a lot hotter. It's going to take a little bit longer for those tires to come up to optimum race temperature. But once they're there, they are so, so good. And you can see Trevor Westman seems to have got them there rapidly. Jason Lamb in second place. That's good for him. How far back is Van Bernard? He's in third. Lamb needs to try and get between himself and Trevor Westman. And a change up from Purificati's point of view as he dives on the inside of Suter. So Eskil Suter and Purificati maintain their battle just behind Graham Van Bernard. Now that Purificati's through, though, he's pulled a bit of a margin. And Eskil Suter, well, he might be left behind as Purificati goes hunting for Van Bernard. And if Graham Van Bernard can get caught and passed, that might change things up in the championship again. We're on board here with Graham. Oh, and there you go. Big move up the inside of Clubhouse and makes it stick. Tries to come back at him. Van Bernard's going to come side by side with Purificati and hangs onto that inside line going into the S's. So that battle's not done just yet. This battle at the back is also not done. Jonathan Schwerin just ahead there of the welcome return for Byron Rothquell. Nice to see him back on the motorcycle after that big crash. Jason Lamb flicks it to the right-hand side. Now heads up towards Leerkop, trying to close things down on Trevor Westman. I don't think anybody's going to answer to Westman's pace here. Lamb will be happy with second, and if his pit boards are telling him, he's pulled a bit of a margin now over Van Bernard. And Van Bernard loses out yet again to Purificati, this time up at Leerkop. So he's dropped down to fourth place. Those pit boards are going to be frantically out there. Apana Ganapathy, late on the brakes up to Leerkop. Stand by for that second pack. Here they come. This time led out by JLR. He's up ahead of Henk Kruger. And then just further back, look at that. They continue the fights all the way through. Renatus van Niekerk, Mark Newland, and Sifiso Temba. And even further back from that, let's continue with more action as Schwerin comes at it. The 11 bike up there, of course, doing a superb job is Gerard Frey, also a new man to the series, and just behind him there was Howard. So that's just how they do it in ZX10R Masters Cup. The SunBet boys are putting on a show. And don't forget, we got 2 ladies involved in this class as well, doing such a great job out there. Both Landi Sinnen and Marty Suter. Marty Suter just outside the top 20 overall. Another lap completed. Here comes Schwerin under pressure. There is Marty. Just spoken about her, and she's in a big fight there, I can tell you. Byron Rothkall is going to have his hands full. He certainly knows how to get onto a motorcycle and make it go quick. This is Apana Ganapathy now, closing in onto the back end, looking for a way through, possibly on Wayne Shelley. Can Shelley keep him out? We mentioned that Wayne Shelley is always good at Kyalami. He's going to be a tough man to beat there this weekend. Like that man there, Trevor Westman, the killer, has got that margin over Jason Lamb and Purificati for second and third. Lamb wants to hang on for second, that is for sure. He's not going to allow Damien Purificati any opportunity to come through on him. But Purificati means business, and he's looking for a way past. Eskil Suter's fallen back into the clutches there of Brian Bontekonen. Bonte's got his arch rival in the Grandmasters titles behind him. And Peter de Vos not quite having it the same way this time out that he had on Friday. With a bit of pressure. Oh, it's been a pressure. That's Landi Sinnen crashing out. That's a massive moment for our lady rider. Oh, and she looks a bit sore there. That was a big, big one. It looks like coming out of Sunset by the looks of things. That's a fast corner to go down. Hopefully she's okay. At the front end though, Trevor Westman's doing it all right. He's now in amongst the back markers and starting to lap those back markers. Westman going for the victory again. Has Jason Lamb been able to keep Purificati out for second? We'll have to wait and see. Here he comes to the line and the checkered flag is on standby. Jason Lamb would be looking for second place if he can get it. And Damien Purificati wants to try and spoil his day. But Trevor Westman has been the class of the field here this weekend in both rounds 6 and 7. And once again takes a victory at Kyalami. And it's by a huge margin. Jason Lamb is going to hang on for second place and beat out Damien Purificati. Van Bredar in fourth. Eskil Suter and Brian Bontekonen beat out Peter de Vos, McMahon, Wayne Shelley and Apana Ganapathy making up the top 10. Rob Craig was just outside the top 10 with Henk Kruger on his tail. He had a big fight with Veringa and Renatus Vanikirk, and Mark Newland and Savisa Temba continued on their merry way. Schwerin and Gerard Frey were in a big fight with Mauri.
This start was one of the better ones I've had on the ZX10, and from the word go, all I wanted to do was just get in front and just do my rhythm, you know. I haven't had that rhythm since I got here in Kyalami since last year when I did that race. Always had bad starts. So this one was picture perfect and exactly what I envisioned this morning. I was in the 49s, probably like 4 or 5 laps, and my slowest was a 50.2. So yeah, it was just a dream race, and this is all for Team Wayward and to Vitus. We ride in honor for him, and yeah, this is for you, boy.
Lots of family support here in the ZX10R Masters Cup, sponsored by SunBet, and lots of support for Jason Lamb too.
Managed to lead a few laps, you know, then I saw Trevor come by. You know, I'm not really fighting too much with Trevor in the championship, so I thought I'll let him go and, you know, won't hold us all up, and I'll follow him a bit, and he got me away from the guys, and then all of a sudden Damien rocked up and, you know, passed me on the outside, and I had to block him, and then him and I had a great race. No, really a good race, and some really valuable points.
And a big moment for Lubabala Nsana in Sunset.
Oh man, look, I was trying to go fast. A rider in front of me tried to overtake, went a bit wide, so I had no choice but to close the gas, and I lost the front. It was quite a fast one, but I'm glad that I'm okay. Hopefully the other rider that crashed after me is okay.
Yeah, fortunately she is, Landi Sinnen getting up there, but join us after the break. Get some red squares to refresh yourselves. Race 2 is coming. Welcome back to action from SunBet ZX10R Masters Cup at Kyalami's Festival of Motoring. It's round 7, it's race 2, and it is fantastic weather conditions now. The sun has come out, it's warmed up. There's a small breeze blowing, which is going to help out with the engines. Let's see what's going to happen now in race number 2. Great to see SunBet doing a little bit of activation down in pit lane as well to entertain all the crowds that are here at the Festival of Motoring. From activations, we now go into the serious stuff of race number 2 as the bikes make their way out and we get ready to go for racing here at Kyalami. One has to wonder how long it's going to take for that young man to join the likes of the longest standing single make series in the world, SunBet ZX10R Masters Cup. rolling to the line. Let's have a look and see how they're going to line up here. You can see it's going to be an absolutely awesome one. And this is race 2 of round 7. It's slightly later in the day, so sunset is going to be a concern. Problem for JLR, he's got a flat tire. Oh, that's huge to miss him off the start line. 5 seconds goes to lights on. And we're about to go at it again. This time the green lights stay off and the red lights go off. And it looks like a problem for one of the riders on the grid. Is that Purificati? It looked like he might be. Purificati with a problem on the grid and on the start. Didn't go according to plan. We go on board here with De Vos. Another good start from Peter De Vos. And diving on his inside. They are just fanning out, what is that, 5-6 bikes abreast down into Crowthorne. Yes, indeed. Wayne Shelley on the inside is Dave Varinga. He's looking straight back into the eyes there of the big man. And as they come around the outside, oh, whole shot time for Lamb. He eventually cements it into turn 2. And Westman down into second place. Van Breda is third as they come onto the short straight towards sunset. As I said, late in the afternoon here, sunset is definitely going to be a huge factor. And as they pitch it onto the right-hand side, they'll get to see exactly why that corner is called sunset. First 5 riders, 6 riders, 7 riders, all on dark visors, except Wayne Shelley again. But as we mentioned last time, I don't think he's got the money for a dark visor. So Shelley continues on with his clear visor. This is Purificati. Yeah, what a pity. Listen to the bike. Definitely an issue here on that machine, and the amalgam welding Kawasaki pulls into pit lane. So it's Lamb from Westman. Can Westman keep out Jason Lamb, or can he get through on him? And Jason Lamb's got to try and keep out Van Breda. It's going to be a fight of note here for this championship, heading into the closing stages of this round, and potentially into the last round at Swartkops as well. Round the outside again. You kind of think Jason Lamb would have seen that coming. That's exactly where Trevor Westman passed him last time. He didn't shut the door, and Westman says, thanks very much, I'll have that again. He takes the lead. Lamb down in the second. Van Breda closing in on Lamb. In the background, Eskil Suter leads out that second pack as they head to complete the first lap in anger. And as you can see, just in the background, and of course, even here late in the afternoon on the Festival of Motoring's final day, still some big crowds being entertained here by SunBet ZX10 Masters Cup. Apanaganapathy looking for a way through here on September, and he's going absolutely flat out to catch. Is that Rob Craig just ahead? By the looks of it, it is. So looking for a chance now to keep out Rob Craig as they go into Crowthorne. This is fantastic race action all the way through the pack. Lamb's back into the front. Jason Lamb outbreaking Trevor Westman and getting back to the front again. So Westman's got to do it all again now on the second lap. Eskil Suter with Brian Bontekun and De Vos and McMahon. Slacky having a good one. It's Wayne Shelley. And just behind that, by the looks of things, is Big Dave Varinga. Varinga having a phenomenal second heat here, that's for sure. Fight on between the two championship rivals, and the man from Cape Town, the Killer, is his name, and he's usually good at living up to that in terms of killing off his competition. Further back, Schwerin at it again with Frey, and this time it is Byron Rothkell on the Mag Magic bike involved in that. Just ahead is Golgocci, the ETR man, having a super run here in the second heat. Back to the front, Jason Lamb at the Leocop triple left-hander. It's a triple apex corner they've got to play with there, and Van Breda's closing down on him. Here's a big move. Diving through on the inside there. Safisa Temba and Renatus van Niekerk. Henk Kruger just behind them. Kruger's usually a little bit higher up than that. So I'm not quite sure what's gone wrong there in Henk Kruger's point of view, but we'll keep an eye on his progress. Maybe he can make his way through. Change up here possibly as well as Brian Bontekun, and looks on the inside. The Jag Power Products bike trying to get through there on the Suter Racing Kawasaki. Not able to make it stick this time. Here comes Westman. Watch for the slightly different corner. And late apex here from the man in second. Can he get the drive onto the main straight and give Lamb a run down towards Crowthorne? If he does, maybe some slipstream coming from Van Breda to use it to his advantage. They cross the line. This is De Vos's point of view as they cross the line again. Coming out of the shadows and back into the light. That pit building puts a big shadow over the start line and start-finish straight. And down on the brakes into Crowthorne. That's brilliant late braking from him. Closing in once again there on Bonte. Bonte's done the same thing on Suter. And Graham Van Breda's done the same thing on Westman. So 3 bikes at the front, fighting for 1, 2, and 3. A little gap. And then 4, 5, and 6 as evenly matched as those first 3. As they head towards sunset. Maybe a little bit of a bigger margin there between them. But they're about to be joined by another 3. And just behind them comes Rob Craig, Apanaganapathy, and Henk Kruger, who's made up some ground now. Westman looking for a way past. Can't find it just yet. Jason Lamb is keeping him very honest. He's not giving any opportunities there to the Killer to find a way back again. From the back, Marty Suter just ahead there of Steve Golgocci. Intech Racing Man doing a super job ahead of Schwerin and Byron Rothkell. Frey's in there too. As I said, Anywhere you look on track right now, you're going to see fights amongst the riders that are of a similar nature, similar riding skill, and similar lap times. And they all enjoy themselves out there when they're in the thick of it. And they're certainly in the thick of it coming out of Leeuwkop right now, those top three. Apana just up the road from that battle, as I said. And, now joining in there with Renatus van Niekerk is Reggie Seal. Reggie Seal's in the mix there too. Round the outside from Westman again. Can he do it for a third time? Yes, he can. He seems to just get that line to perfection and then just sweep it around. Here comes Lamb on his inside going into Cheetah. No, can't get on the inside there. And he has to give away there to Trevor Westman to take the lead. Westman now ahead of Lamb. Lamb, well, he'll get those pit boards, not here, but on the back straight away. And those pit boards will tell him it's Graham Van Breda who's hunting him down now. The championship rivalry is about to go at it for second place on the road. Henk Kruger closing in the background as we're watching the 5-7 go through there of Renatus van Niekerk. Van Niekerk trying to close things down there, as you can see, on a big fight with Rob Craig and Varinga. Further back, continued fight there as well. Change up as well as we see Byron Rothwell moving one place up in that little battle. Purificati's back on track, but he's a long, long way back. So whatever the issue is, looks like they might have sorted it out, and he's got back on circuit. But his debut in ZX10 went well on Friday. Hasn't quite gone according to plan here on race 2 of round 7. Graham Van Breda, looks like he might have just turned the wick up there on that Stefanuti Stockson Motul Kawasaki. He wants a way past on the Tyre Mart bike of the East London-based rider Jason Lamb. 57 has had a fantastic run, and Renatus van Niekerk, one of the biggest men on motorcycles in this class, is still in with a fight there with Henk Kruger. Jason Lamb is feeling the pressure. He's going defensive up into Leeuwkop. Van Breda, I think, might have just kept those tyres for a late race dash here to get up into second. Slucky closing down on the back end now, and he's lost a little bit of ground, but I was going to say he was a little bit closer to De Vos earlier on. And then Big Dave Varinga, the juggernaut, flicks it through into Leeuwkop. De Vos now on the John Gonjosi Kawasaki. Has he got someone on his inside? No, he's going to try and fend off any attacks at this stage. But watching him come through this little flick up towards Cheetah, we look back, no, it's a big gap. So it looks like he's going to be able to keep out Hein McMahon from his final attack here, coming into the closing stages of round 7's race 2. Behind Hein McMahon, though, you can see just how hard Wayne Shelley's pushing. Eskil Suter's in the mix there too. Now down onto the brakes into Crowthorne come the leaders. Westman, Lamb and Van Breda. Has Graham Van Breda got something special for us on these last couple of laps? He's battling with that finger. Remember, his braking finger is injured, so that might be hindering him in his chances to have a go. He'll probably wait until it's the last chance he can have a go, not having to put too much pressure on that injured finger to get through there on Jason Lamb. Pit boards are showing him that he's up close and personal there with his championship rival. Henk Kruger closing in on the back end of Renatus and bringing Sifiso Temba along for the ride. Van Breda's through. He got through going into Sunset, and he now cements it, coming into Clubhouse Corner with half a lap to go. Schwerin's ahead now of Maudi Suter, trying to close down there on Steve Golgocci. Suter, Schwerin and Golgocci just ahead of that third little battle right at the back of the pack. In fact, any of these 6 riders can take something away from each other on the last lap. Westman's done it all right. He's controlled it since he hit the front, and now pulling away from Van Breda in second and Lamb in third. Van Breda's second might still see him stay ahead of the championship rival there, Jason Lamb. Here they come out of Leeuwkop again. Second pack of riders still in with a shot there. That's led out at this stage by McMahon, but he's got Suter, Varinga, Craig and Apana Ganapathy in there as well. Coming down into Crocodiles for the last time, Trevor Westman. The class of the field this weekend, as I said. Round 6 and 7 have certainly had a Westman look and feel to them. And as he comes down on the wayward team machine, he's going to take the second victory here at round 7. Brilliant ride here from the killer. He'll be heading back to Cape Town with some nice trophies and some great bit of assistance there from all of our assistant sponsors. Flag is out, and Westman takes it. Van Breda in second and Jason Lamb in third. That's going to have an interesting feel to the championship. And the dice for fourth coming to the final corner. Looks like Eskil Suter's dropped behind these 3 riders. He was leading them out. Bontekun is going to get fourth. He's going to be followed home by De Vos and McMahon. And then you can see Suter just in the background there. On the back wheel, in fact. That's a nice way to finish off. But I'm sure he'd like to finish up higher up. I wonder what happened there. Henk Kruger still coming to the line. He's going to make it just outside the top 10 with Reggie Seal on his tail. And Renatus van Niekerk just behind that. But there you have confirmation of race 2, round 7. Westman, Van Breda, Lamb. Bontekun, De Vos, McMahon, Suter, Varinga, Craig and Apana Ganapathy. Kruger in 11th, Seal ahead of Renatus van Niekerk. September, and then a massive effort there from Damien Purificardi to come back into 15th overall after going off so early on. Further down, Marty Suter, Byron Rothwell and Gerard Frey, as we saw, had an epic battle with Ian Harwood at the tail end of the field. Let's catch up now with double race winner Trevor Westman. He's ecstatic.
And I think from that first good start, it made the second one even better. So, such a sweet day. But anyway, 2 weeks ago I came here to celebrate Vitus's life, and the whole team are here in the grandstands, and I'm so thankful, and this is to Vitus. Thank you.
Graham Van Bedar retains the championship lead with second.
I won't say it was great. I battled a bit, but I knew I needed to be in front of. I wasn't worried about Trev, so I didn't even try and go with him, but I had to be in front of Jason, so I was quite desperate. And just want to say a massive thanks to Russell from Step Stocks and his son. They gave me something that really helped this finger. I'm not going to tell you what it was, but it did the business. Thanks, guys, and thanks to everybody else for sponsoring, and Step Stocks, Motel, and to all organisers. A great event, and really happy to walk away leading the championship. Thank you.
A big moment for Eskil Suter on that last lap. Let's find out what it was all about.
It was great weekend, great racing with the boys. Good fun, really. Had a little bit of moment now in the second race. Down the mineshaft, I was behind Brian, and somehow I lost the front. It was really fast, went through the gravel, but I saved it and finished the race. But whoa, that was a moment. Was tough, but great racing with these guys, and then I really enjoyed it.
That was a huge moment, but let's have a look at the huge moment in the championship. Van Bedar leads heading into the final round, ahead of Jason Lamb by 13 points. Trevor Westman ahead of Peter de Vos, and Bontekoning up into the top 5. After 2 days of magnificent racing, it's time for the SunBet Awards ceremony, and classes A, B and C will now be awarded. Trevor Westman was the class of the field. Great to see the fight there with the new man, Damien Purificardi, joining Slucky. Van Bedar takes the lead of the championship overall, Panagana in third and Jason Lamb in second for Class B. Class C, Eskil Suter fighting with Brian Bontekoning and Peter de Vos. And ride of the day, going to Eskil Suter after a magnificent save through the kitty litter at the bottom end of the circuit, and of course also arriving early. We'll see you for more action from SunBet ZX10 Masters Cup at the final round at Swartkops on the 14th of October. All the ZX10 Masters Cup action is proudly brought to you by SunBet, Red Square, Bridgestone, the tyre of choice for the ZX10 Masters Cup, and Kawasaki motorcycles.